you're good to go whenever you guys are ready.
Thank you very much for joining us here today as we take the time to educate our parent and family members about vital resources around campus. As we open, if you don't mind introducing yourself, and please tell us your department.
Absolutely. My name is Francesca Maresca. I'm the Director of Health Outreach, Promotion, and Education, which is part of Rutgers Student Health.
Francesca, what role does the health and wellness area play within the university?
Probably a larger role than most people think. We want students to be successful inside the classroom and outside the classroom. And in order for that to happen, they really do need to have good health and wellness, and not just physical health, but also emotional health and social wellness.
What ways does Rutgers Student Health and Hope empower students to take charge of their own health and wellness?
We do this in a number of ways. So unlike your K through 12 years where your parents had to do pretty much everything for you, make your appointments, fill your prescriptions, you couldn't even take an aspirin or a cough medicine in school without a doctor's note and your parents' permission, when you come to college, when you get here to Rutgers, you have to do this for yourself. So we do want students to learn how to make their appointments. We want students to learn when it's appropriate to make an appointment, with whom. So if they're not feeling well, hey, maybe I should call my student health center and tell them what's going on. If they're struggling a little bit emotionally, we want them to know, well, we have mental health resources on campus as well. We have CAPS. We have counseling, alcohol and other drug assistance program, and psychiatric services. So we want students to get comfortable with making those phone calls and understanding that this is something that they have to do for themselves. I should also mention, all of our services are strictly confidential. So any services that students access, we cannot share that information with anyone, including parent and family members, unless we have their express written permission.
What tips can you provide for how parent and family members can provide support to their students as they transition to school, or just for the everyday stressors and demands that they face during their time in college?
I think that's a really important question, and I think that parents and family members need to know that they have to keep those lines of communications open. They need to check in, to ask how they're doing. Do you like your classes? Are there ones you don't like? Why? How's your living situation going? Not all of our students live on campus. Some live 2 blocks away. Some are commuting. How's that working out for you? Are you making friends? Are you joining student organizations? Are you being social, or is everything you're doing studying and staying in your room and being on your own? So we want them to reach out, to ask, because if they don't ask, they might not be told.
So many college students will be exposed to alcohol and other drugs during their time in college. How can our families open the lines of communication around these issues?
This is a harder issue to talk about, I think, for many parents and family members, but we really do hope it's not the first time you're talking about it. So we hope these conversations have taken place through the high school years before students even get to Rutgers. We know that there's going to be students who arrive at Rutgers and alcohol and other drugs are not going to be part of their social time here. For others, it will be. It may not also be the first time. And then there's going to be students on campus who arrive with some existing vulnerability around alcohol and other drugs. And just like asking them how they're doing and who you're having lunch with and dinner with and are you going to your classes, we do want people to ask their students, are you going out to parties? Is there alcohol? Is there drugs? How are you dealing with that? If you do make the decision to drink, even though we know the legal drinking age is 21 and over, do you know what to do if you need help? Do you know how to help a friend who might be experiencing an alcohol poisoning situation or a drug overdose? Do you absolutely know you cannot drink and drive? So it seems funny to say at this point, but these are messages that we want to be repeated over and over again.
So looking at students' mental health and emotional wellness, how can our parent and family members approach this sensitive topic with their students?
Much like drugs and alcohol, nobody thinks or wants to think that they have to have a conversation around mental health and mental wellness, but we want you to. We want you to ask if they're struggling in any way with making friends, with their academics, in their living situations. We want to know if they are feeling alone, isolated. Are they sleeping? Are they sleeping too much? These are all the tiny little questions we could ask, these day-to-day things that we can find out that a student is struggling a little bit. And then as a parent or family member, you can make that little suggestion to say, you know, it might be good if you talk to somebody. I know that they have counseling services on campus. You can call CAPS. Because what I want all parent and family members to know, whether it's their physical health or their mental health, whether they're talking to you or whether they're talking to us about it, as long as they're talking to somebody, that is good.
So before we close today, are there any other words of wisdom you'd like to give our audience?
Just keep talking. Keep talking to your student, keep checking in, letting them know that you're a resource and support to them, and that college is not always easy, so that they can talk to you or someone else.
Francesca, thank you so much for taking the time to sit with us today and educate our parent and family members about this important office.
Thanks for having me.